What if I told you the most dangerous person in the world isn't the strongest, isn't the richest, and isn't the smartest? The most dangerous person is the one who has mastered their own mind. While everyone else is chasing attention, they're building power in silence. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why solitude is the secret weapon that transforms ordinary people into unstoppable forces. Don't blink, because this message could change your life forever. There comes a moment in every person's life when they must make a choice. They can continue living at the speed of the crowd, constantly reacting to noise, opinions, and distractions. Or they can step away for a while and begin the quiet work of building themselves. Most people fear being alone because they mistake solitude for isolation. But there is a remarkable difference. Isolation weakens the spirit when it is forced upon you. Solitude strengthens the mind when it is chosen with purpose. The world often celebrates activity, but it rarely celebrates reflection. We admire the finished product while ignoring the silent hours that made it possible. Every great achievement begins long before anyone notices it. It begins in moments when no one is watching, when difficult decisions are made, when discipline is chosen over comfort, and when a person decides to improve themselves, one small step at a time. Think about this for a moment. If you cannot enjoy your own company, how will you ever understand your own mind? If every quiet moment feels uncomfortable, perhaps it is because you have never allowed yourself the opportunity to listen to your own thoughts. Solitude gives you that opportunity. It removes the constant interruption of other people's expectations and creates space for your own ideas to grow. Knowledge is valuable, but knowledge without reflection is incomplete. Many people read books, watch educational videos, attend seminars, and collect information every day. Yet they wonder why their lives remain unchanged. Information only becomes wisdom when it is examined, questioned, and applied. Solitude provides the environment where learning turns into understanding. It is not enough to know more. You must also think more deeply about what you know. A focused mind is one of the greatest competitive advantages a person can develop. Distractions are everywhere. Notifications compete for your attention. Opinions compete for your confidence. Entertainment competes for your time. Every distraction steals a small piece of your potential. Solitude helps you reclaim it. When you intentionally disconnect from unnecessary noise, your ability to concentrate becomes sharper. Your decisions become wiser. Your priorities become clearer. Discipline is another gift that solitude offers. When no one is watching, your habits reveal your true character. It is easy to work hard when there is applause waiting at the finish line. It is much harder to continue when there is only silence. Yet that silence is where strength is built. Every page you read, every skill you practice, every early morning you embrace, and every promise you keep to yourself becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Many people search for confidence in compliments. They wait for someone else to recognize their value before believing in themselves. Real confidence grows differently. It develops when you repeatedly prove to yourself that you can keep your word. Every disciplined action sends a powerful message to your mind. I can trust myself. That kind of confidence cannot be taken away because it was earned, not given. There's another lesson solitude teaches that few people appreciate. It teaches emotional control. Life will always present criticism, setbacks, disappointments, and unexpected challenges. A person who has never learned to sit quietly with their own thoughts often reacts emotionally to every situation. But someone who regularly practices reflection develops the ability to pause before responding. That pause is powerful. It transforms impulsive reactions into thoughtful decisions. Growth requires honest evaluation. Solitude creates a mirror that cannot be avoided. It asks difficult questions. What habits are holding you back? What excuses have you been repeating? Which goals truly belong to you, and which have simply been borrowed from other people's expectations? These questions may be uncomfortable, but they are necessary. Progress begins the moment honesty replaces denial. Do not confuse being busy with being productive. Many people fill every hour with activity, yet accomplish very little that truly matters. Productivity is not measured by motion. It is measured by meaningful progress. Solitude allows you to separate what is urgent from what is important. It teaches you to invest your energy where it produces the greatest return. Every successful person eventually discovers that improvement is an inside job. External opportunities may open doors, but internal preparation determines whether you can walk through them. Skills can be learned. Wealth can be created. Influence can be earned. But none of these achievements remain stable without a strong character to support them. Character is developed quietly, consistently, and often alone. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check whether it is growing. You water it, protect it, and trust the process. Personal development works the same way. Your daily reading, disciplined habits, focused practice, and thoughtful reflection may seem invisible at first. But beneath the surface, roots are forming. Eventually, those invisible roots produce visible success. One of the greatest advantages of solitude is that it helps you become independent in your thinking. Instead of following every trend, you begin evaluating ideas based on principles. Instead of chasing approval, you begin pursuing purpose. Instead of comparing yourself with others, you compare today's version of yourself with yesterday's. That shift changes everything, because your greatest competition has never been another person. It has always been your own untapped potential. Remember this lesson well. People who constantly seek attention often lose direction. People who seek improvement eventually earn attention without asking for it. Excellence has a way of making itself visible. You do not need to announce your progress. Your results will speak with greater authority than your words ever could. There will be moments when solitude feels uncomfortable. Stay with it. Growth often begins where comfort ends. Use those quiet moments to read, write, think, plan. Pray if that is part of your life. Develop new skills and strengthen your character. Every hour invested in becoming wiser will return value for years to come. The person who learns to master solitude gains something extraordinary. They become difficult to distract, difficult to discourage, and difficult to defeat. Not because they possess extraordinary talent, but because they have built extraordinary discipline. They understand that success is rarely created in public. It is prepared in private, so embrace the silence. Welcome the moments when the world grows quiet enough for you to hear your own purpose. Use solitude as your classroom, discipline as your teacher, and consistency as your daily assignment. Every lesson learned in those quiet hours becomes a strength that no challenge can easily break. The most dangerous person is not the loudest voice in the room. It is the individual who has mastered their own mind, sharpened their own character, and quietly prepared for opportunities long before they arrived. When your inner world becomes stronger than the outer world's distractions, your potential becomes limitless. And that is the true power of solitude. There comes a moment in every person's life when they face a choice that quietly shapes the direction of their future. It is not always a dramatic decision or a life-changing event that everyone can see. More often, it is a simple, personal choice between continuing to follow the constant noise of the world or stepping away from it for a while to focus on personal growth. Every day, people are surrounded by opinions, expectations, entertainment, social media updates, and endless distractions that demand attention. While staying connected has its benefits, living in a state of constant distraction leaves very little room for deep thinking, self-discovery, and meaningful improvement. Choosing solitude does not mean rejecting people or avoiding relationships. Instead, it means intentionally creating time to understand yourself better, evaluate your goals, and strengthen your character without the influence of outside pressure. Many people confuse solitude with loneliness, but the two are completely different. Loneliness is the painful feeling of being disconnected from meaningful relationships, while solitude is a purposeful decision to spend time alone for learning, reflection, and personal development. During these quiet moments, you begin to notice your own thoughts more clearly, recognize habits that need improvement, and discover strengths that may have remained hidden beneath the constant noise of daily life. Solitude allows you to ask important questions that are often ignored in a busy schedule. What kind of person do I want to become? What skills should I develop? Which habits are helping me move forward, and which ones are holding me back? These questions may seem simple, but answering them honestly can transform your future. The greatest improvements in life rarely happen while seeking constant approval from others. They happen when you become willing to sit quietly with your own thoughts, accept responsibility for your progress, and commit to becoming better every single day. Instead of reacting to every distraction, you begin responding with intention and purpose. Instead of comparing yourself with others, you focus on improving your own abilities. Over time, these small moments of reflection build confidence, discipline, and wisdom that cannot be gained through external validation alone. A person who regularly chooses purposeful solitude develops greater clarity, stronger decision-making, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. That inner strength eventually becomes visible in every action they take, proving that the quietest moments of life often become the foundation for the greatest achievements. The world has taught many people to believe that being constantly busy is the same as being productive, but those are two very different things. A schedule filled with endless meetings, notifications, conversations, and responsibilities may create the appearance of progress. Yet real growth often requires moments of stillness. Just as a farmer prepares the soil before planting seeds, every individual must prepare their mind before expecting meaningful results in life. Solitude creates the mental space where this preparation takes place. When the noise of daily life fades, your thoughts become clearer, your priorities become easier to identify, and your decisions become more intentional. Instead of reacting to every opinion or trend, you begin to examine your own beliefs, values, and ambitions. This process of reflection helps separate temporary desires from lasting goals, allowing you to invest your time and energy in what truly matters. Many people spend years chasing success without ever asking themselves what success genuinely means to them. They follow paths designed by others, seek approval from people who do not understand their dreams, and measure their progress using someone else's standards. Solitude breaks this cycle by giving you the freedom to think independently. It allows you to step back, question your direction, and make choices based on purpose rather than pressure. During these quiet moments, your mind becomes a classroom where experience turns into wisdom. Mistakes become lessons instead of regrets. Failures become valuable feedback instead of permanent defeat, and challenges become opportunities to develop resilience. Reflection also strengthens emotional intelligence because it teaches you to observe your feelings instead of being controlled by them. Rather than reacting impulsively to criticism, disappointment, or setbacks, you learn to respond with patience and understanding. This ability creates stronger relationships, better leadership, and wise decision-making in every area of life. The habit of spending intentional time alone also improves creativity because the mind performs its best work when it has room to explore ideas without constant interruption. Some of history's greatest innovations, discoveries, and achievements were born during periods of deep focus rather than endless activity. Every quiet moment spent reading, writing, planning, learning, or simply thinking becomes an investment in your future. Over time, these moments shape a stronger mindset, a clearer vision, and a more disciplined character, proving that lasting success is built not through constant noise, but through consistent reflection and purposeful solitude. Knowledge has become easier to access than at any other time in history, yet true understanding remains surprisingly rare. Every day, millions of people consume books, articles, podcasts, videos, and educational content, believing that simply collecting information will automatically improve their lives. However, information alone has very little power unless it is carefully examined, understood, and transformed into action. Reading 10 books without applying a single lesson will never create the same results as studying one valuable idea and practicing it consistently. This is why quiet moments of reflection are so important. They provide the opportunity to slow down, organize your thoughts, and connect new knowledge with real-life experiences. Instead of rushing to learn something new every day, you begin asking more meaningful questions about what you have already learned. How can this lesson improve my daily habits? What mistake can I avoid by applying this principle? Which belief needs to change before my actions can change? These questions transform learning from a passive activity into an active process of personal growth. Reflection also strengthens memory because the brain retains information more effectively when it is reviewed, analyzed, and connected to existing knowledge. Rather than becoming overwhelmed by endless streams of content, you develop the habit of extracting a few valuable principles and practicing them until they become part of your character. This approach creates lasting improvement instead of temporary motivation. Education is not measured by the number of facts you can remember, but by the quality of decisions you make because of what you know. A wise person understands that every lesson carries responsibility. Learning about discipline means little if your daily routine remains unchanged. Understanding the importance of patience has little value if you continue making impulsive decisions. Real education produces visible transformation in attitudes, habits, and actions. As this process continues, confidence begins to grow naturally because you are no longer relying on inspiration alone. You are building evidence through consistent practice. Every small improvement strengthens your belief in your own ability to learn, adapt, and overcome challenges. Over time, this creates a mindset that is both curious and disciplined, always seeking knowledge while remaining committed to applying it. The combination of continuous learning and thoughtful reflection becomes a powerful advantage, allowing you to solve problems more effectively, recognize opportunities others overlook, and make decisions based on understanding rather than impulse. This is how ordinary knowledge gradually develops into practical wisdom that shapes both character and long-term success. One of the greatest abilities a person can develop is the power to focus on what truly matters, while ignoring everything that pulls attention away from meaningful goals. In today's fast-moving world, distractions are no longer occasional interruptions. They have become a normal part of everyday life. Every notification, unnecessary conversation, social media update, and passing trend competes for a share of your attention. Although each distraction may seem harmless on its own, together they consume hours, weaken concentration, and reduce the quality of your thinking. The human mind performs at its highest level when it is fully engaged with one important task at a time. Yet many people spend their days switching constantly from one activity to another. This habit creates the illusion of productivity while preventing deep, meaningful progress. Developing focus requires more than simply removing distractions. It requires training the mind to remain committed to a purpose, even when easier or more entertaining options are available. This is where intentional periods of quiet reflection become valuable. Stepping away from constant stimulation allows your mind to recover, organize ideas, and direct energy toward priorities instead of impulses. As your focus improves, your decision-making also becomes stronger because you begin evaluating opportunities based on long-term value rather than short-term excitement. You become less likely to chase every new possibility and more likely to complete the work that truly moves your life forward. Concentration is similar to a muscle that grows stronger with consistent practice. Every time you choose to finish an important task, instead of giving in to distraction, you strengthen your ability to remain disciplined. Over time, this discipline extends beyond work and influences every area of life, including relationships, finances, health, and personal development. A focused mind also experiences greater creativity because uninterrupted thinking allows ideas to develop naturally instead of being interrupted before they reach their full potential. Many breakthroughs, solutions, and innovative ideas emerge only after sustained periods of concentration, when the mind has enough time to explore possibilities without constant interference. As this habit becomes part of daily life, confidence begins to grow because completed tasks replace unfinished intentions, and consistent progress replaces frustration. Small victories accumulate into larger achievements, creating momentum that inspires even greater effort. Eventually, focus becomes more than a skill, it becomes a way of living. Instead of allowing circumstances to control your attention, you consciously decide where your energy will go each day. This deliberate control over your thoughts, time, and actions becomes one of the most valuable assets you can possess, enabling steady progress toward meaningful goals, while others remain trapped in endless cycles of distraction.